Welcome to episode 41 of Sport SA Daily Diary. Today we'll be chatting to 3 times Comrades Marathon winner, Bong'musa Mthem. Good morning, Bong'musa. How are you doing today, my friend?
Very good morning to you, my man, and thanks for having me. I'm doing well. I'm okay, and I'm hanging there.
How's the lockdown been treating you? Because it's not as if you can just go for a quick 100 kilometers in your garden. This must have been
Yeah, man, it's been so tough, but I think first thing and foremost for us it was just to respect the regulation that put out there by our government, and and it's been hard, and because we used to run like more than like 20 kilometers a day, so I mean to running around in your yard is very difficult. But at the end of the day, that was the situation that we faced in South Africa, and we had to respect those regulations, and hopefully this thing is going to be over.
Yeah, let's hope so, because I think we all need to get out and get a bit of exercise. Bong'musa, you've had a long and very distinguished running career, but you started running when you did start. You just were running for fun. Tell us a bit
Yeah,
about
man.
those days.
Yes. I was just doing for fun, I grew up in rural areas, and my father was a sportsman, so he was always taking us to a sport field. Of course, we were not exposed to many sports code in our area, so I mean definitely it was soccer
Yeah.
and a little bit of rugby and cricket. Yeah, then he used to take us there. So I think from there that's where I fell love in a sport. So when I grew up, I like to test different sports codes. As I've said, we didn't have so many sports codes. So yeah, I was doing together with soccer and running. Before I was doing my session on training for soccer, I used to just go around maybe like 5 kilometers, and walking from home to school, it was more than like 10 kilometers. So I would used to walk like 20 kilometers a day. So I think from there, I mean, I was fell in love. But as I grew up, I felt like I need to do like just the sport that I can do it alone. That's
Yeah.
because in soccer and rugby, they're always looking for a team. So I always wanted an individual sport. I think that's where the running came. So slowly up until today.
And Bong'musa, you say that you had to walk like 20 k's a day. Do you think that walking gave you strength in your legs that has now carried you forward today?
Well, most definitely, I mean, in rural areas as a boy, you're doing a lot of things, looking
Mm.
for a cattle, running around in a mountain, chasing birds, stuff like that. As you grew up in rural area, I think all those aspects make you stronger as a boy, and also that walking. Our children today, they don't even walk like 10 kilometers. We always needed transport. I mean, for us, that was easy. We used to run. I used to walk that 20 kilometers a day, morning and afternoon on school. And you can imagine doing matric. We used to be at the school at 7 o'clock and walking in that 10 kilometers. I had to walk up early, around about 4:30 or 5 o'clock at home.
Yeah, I mean that's incredibly difficult. But now I suppose you're waking up that early to go running training.
No, yes. I think it stuck with me, and yeah, always, even today, at 5 o'clock, 4:30. I mean, I woke up because I think even my body has got use of that. During that
Yeah.
time, I woke up, I do massaging, and then maybe during the day and afternoon. So yeah, I mean, I also try by all means to not change wherever or whenever any circumstances come, so that my body is gonna be easy to adapt whenever things comes to normal.
Yeah. And Bong'musa, tell me, you started racing or taking running seriously in 2004, and then by 2005 you'd already won your first marathon. I mean that's pretty special.
Yeah, man, I think yeah, I've always say, I've always come across with that question, and I've always say, for me, it has to start within, then you'll get the help. I mean, there are some other generous people out there willing to help those who want to achieve more. I think I'm one of those guys. Luckily, I've moved down to Pietermaritzburg, where there is a lot of facilities, there is a lot of training, there is a lot of groups. Then, yeah, I mean, with my brother, then from there, I get to know so many people, and I get to know how to run, how to prepare for certain marathon. And of course, growing up in rural areas, I was so strong. It's just that I didn't have any facilities. I didn't have any correct knowledges how to train and how to run, actually, because all those things is you need to apply when you're running. So, I mean, in this first year, winning for me, it was surprising, of course, because I wanted to do more in time, but I had to take the win. Then I'll rectify any mistake and any progress along my journey.
And Bong'musa, you've since obviously progressed into ultra distance running. Do you still enjoy running a marathon? And the reason I ask is I've run the Comrades twice now as well. I cannot stand running the marathon. I hate it. But give
Yeah,
me
man,
a
it's true.
ultra marathon or a Comrades, I'm more than happy to do it. But the marathon, I don't like. Is that the same with
Yeah,
you?
man. No, definitely, man. That's true. As I go along with my career, I knew, because I had to read about running. I had to know about running. So I know that if you wanna run, maybe like, because you can see in our days now, when you run a marathon, you have to run like 2 hours and less than 10 minutes. So to compare that with the training of Comrade is totally different. So I had to choose whether I want to focus on marathon or focus on ultra distances. So from there, I took a decision that I want to do ultra distances. I know I got an endurance. I mean, naturally, yes, I got a speed, but once I put that together, I think I'm going to do well in ultra distances. So from there, I use the marathon has the training going to ultra marathon, and you will see this most often, that the most of our athletes, that's what the mistake are doing. They want to compete in marathon, they want to compete in ultra distances. So you can't do both. I've always said that. I mean, most of the guys, they want to do that. I mean, it's very impossible. Yes, it can be done, but it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of work and to achieve that. And then exactly for me, I had to focus on Comrade. Even now, when I'm doing any marathon, I mean like 56, then I've always prepare for Comrades, because that's the only race I race for the year.
Yeah. Bong'musa, you've had a brilliant Comrades career. I mean, you've won 8 gold medals. You've won it 3 times. Let's chat about the start of a Comrades Marathon. You often see that there's the group of guys that sprint off the line and they want to get in the camera and they want to get on shot, and they want to be leading the Comrades Marathon. Tell us, what's the perfect way to run the Comrades Marathon to win?
It was always difficult, and that's why I was always saying, Comrades come with the experience. You can be physically strong, and if you're not mentally strong, you can't succeed in Comrade. Especially in the years back, because that's where they were hotspot. It was so difficult because you couldn't know whether that guy is gonna run up until the end. And now I think it's more easier now, because you know that there is no hotspot. So if any guys move out, you must watch out. You must see who he is. You must see how far he is. You must know. You must be aware of those things. But other than that, it's all start on training. For me, I always do whatever I do in training. So when I go into race, I'll always try by all means to compete at the highest level. If it doesn't happen that day, I won't, Comrade. I have to accept it and come back and make the corrections and prepare for next year. Not done any mistake by going to other race so very soon, because I'm not gonna do anything proper. But I think that's what key for me. If I fail to win Comrade, or if I fail to get into top 3 in Comrade, I just rest a little bit and rectify my problem, and see. Maybe today we are lucky because we can able to even watch after certain time, and see maybe the mistake that you did, because I mean, Comrades a long distance. We have to be conscious. Yes, somewhere somehow you will lose focus, because I mean the guys change and chopping. You can't know who is up front and what is gonna do. But I think for me, I grew up mind that now the guys, they know that Bong'musa is there. So with that, I had to be very confident at a certain time, not forget what put me there. So in terms of working hard, training every day, and eat properly, and yeah, then on a rest day and just do my own best. Yes, I respect those people who loves Bong'musa, who always appreciate Bong'musa, but at the end of the day, it has to be about me because I'm the one who goes through a lot of stuff behind the scenes when I'm doing my training. So, I mean, those people, they only see us when we're running. I have to respect them. I have to appreciate them. But at the end of the day, it has to be about me.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does have to be about you. And when you're coming into the stadium, at the finish of the race, it is about you. Tell us about the emotion of coming into the stadium, coming and getting the baton from the mayor, getting the rose. I mean, as I've said, I've done 2 Comrades, and it's incredibly emotional for me when I come in at 5,000th position. I'm not coming in at first, winning the Comrades, amazing achievement. Tell us a bit about that emotion as you're coming into that stadium.
Wow, man, that's for me. It's always been emotional. It's I've always been asked that question. And it's so difficult to explain in such a way that any person can understand. As I've said, I going through a lot from December to May or June, where the day of Comrade. So whenever I get into stadium, receive that message, it's always come with emotional because I knew that I've worked so hard and so I've spent so many times out of my family, out of sometimes even out of a country, trying to prepare for these 5 hours. But it took me like 6 to 7 months to prepare for that 5 hours. So for me, it's always emotional. But at the end of the day, I've always thanked God that He given me this opportunity. That if I work so hard, if I put my mind, my effort, at the end of the day, it's gonna show me that that is all about. And yeah, when I cross the finish line, yeah, I've always yeah. Sometimes it take about 20 minutes to 30 minutes to suck it in, and that's where the emotions comes. I will just maybe just lay down and cry a little bit, but that's what it's always, man. I think that's what Comrade is all about. And to see people cheering your name, I mean, from the start to finish, it's always amazing, man. I think I've never seen that at a race like this, especially in our country. We've always seen these races maybe in the big fives all over the seas, London, Boston, New York, but here in South Africa, there is no other races like Comrades. Even when you finish the Comrades, you feel like a king. I mean, you feel like you can do anything. But can you imagine winning Comrades? It's something else. I've always even asked my mom that how does she feel when she saw me crossing the finishing line. She couldn't even explain because that's the feeling sometimes you have. It's overwhelm you, and at the end of the day, as I've said, being thankful, the people that surrounds you and the people that's always motivate you, because you need that as a professional athlete. We also need that, even in these difficult times. You need those kind of messages, because it's always hitting us.
Yeah, I think you say you need it as a professional athlete. To be quite honest, I think anybody that runs the Comrades Marathon needs that. I've worked on a lot of events around the world, and for me, without doubt, the Comrades Marathon is the best supported event I have ever been to. The fact that for 90 kilometers, you've got people lined the road the whole way, 7, 8 people deep, they're shouting your name. I think without that support, a lot of people wouldn't finish the Comrades Marathon.
Absolutely, that's true, man. I mean, those people who are waking up early hours like us, as if they're going to run early. If we're starting from Pietermaritzburg going down to Durban, from as early as 3 kilometers, there are so many people. You can see the enthusiastic, the energy I mean, from the start to finish, it's amazing. And you can't go alone in Comrades, each and every corner there will be some people. And to see those funny things along the side, just keep your mind, so that you can think something else, because you can't be focused from the start to finish in Comrade. You need to laugh, you need to see some other things. I think for those guys who are running like 8 hours to up to, I mean, the last time, I think they're enjoying more Comrades like we do, because I've always even asked that, do I ever see what goes on into Comrade? And people, they think maybe I'm.
Sorry, yes, you're just saying about the importance of the support.
Yeah, I mean, as those people, they're waking up, and to see those funny things, yeah, it's always nice along the way. In Comrade, you can't run alone, and each and every corner there will be those people doing so many things, and that is the spirit of the Comrades. That's the energy that you feel in Comrade, and people are shouting you from the start to finish. And whenever you feel like quitting, you can't quit, Comrade. You can walk, you can do anything. Some people, they will have some maybe massage along the road, and you've got everything in Comrade. I've always said that those guys who are running Comrade from like 8 hours to the last, they more enjoy Comrade, because they always see everything that is there on the road. I mean, for us, you have to focus, and each and every second counts. So I mean, at the end of the day, I enjoy Comrades, and today I'm who I am because of Comrades. And I think I'm gonna run Comrades as much as I live, and thanks to the LOC, man. I think each and every race organizer in South Africa should learn from the LOC of Comrades Marathon. Those guys are giving time for us. You can even feel that race is about you as you run that race, because anything is done for you, anything is happened for you from start to finish. So I love Comrade, and the energy in Comrade, the enthusiastic in Comrade is so amazing.
I think so when you get a little bit older and top 10 is no longer sort of a place for you, you must come and run at the back with us and experience the real Comrades Marathon.
I can't wait for that. I mean, I can't wait. So it'll be nice for me, and I'm hopefully it will happen, because as I've said, I wish to run Comrade as much as I can. So it will be nice for me, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I've always says heard that those people who are running from 9 hours and onward, they do enjoy Comrade. Yes, somehow it's difficult, but I can imagine to run like 10 hours. I don't know, but I mean, Comrade is in my blood, and hopefully I'm gonna do. It will be nice, enjoy Comrade, having fun. I mean, laugh and share with other people and in the break. I mean, at least to follow the bunch, and for those bunch of like 10 hours, 10, 11 hours, and feel and that energy.
Yeah, no, it's very different. I can attest to that. Bong'musa, in 2019, you won the two oceans. Sorry, 2019. Was your plan to try and win both two oceans and Comrades? And do you think it's possible?
Yeah, man, I think for Bong'musa, in ultra distances, I grew up a lot each and every day. I want to learn a new thing. And luckily, I've tried by all means to put together the group of guys which can work behind the scenes, so that I can perform well in Comrades and also on Two Ocean. So that's what the plan in 2018, 2019, going to Two Oceans last year. I had to plan for Two Oceans and also Comrades. So it's got come with the management staff, the coaching staff, and the surroundings that you have. And that's what I have to put in for me in going to Two Oceans. And when I heard that the guys are going to chase a record, from the start, I knew that won't happen. It will happen, but not time. Not early soon, because there is a lot of things in conditioning, and the route, it's always different. So you can't put the time in a certain route, then you can think you can take easy to break it. We even see to the INOSA, it was a different route. So they measure everything. So even for us, we need to work on that in order to break the record. So for me, it was easy, because I knew those guys, they will make a mistake when we heard that the route is going to change, going to go back to Capseverg, and also I was not familiar with the route quite fresh, so I had to conserve myself and see maybe the last 18Ks or for 15Ks what the guys are going to do. And of course, they did the mistake. Yes, from the beginnings toward the 21Ks, they were on point to break the record, but I knew they won't run up in Capseverg. They won't run down in Capseverg. If they can do that, the last 15K is going to be hard for them. That's what exactly happened. So I think I capitalized on their mistake. I think that's what happened on the race. If you not plan for the race, it's going to catch you at the end of it.
But do you think it's possible to win the two Oceans and the Comrades in the same year, the same person?
I still want to prove that because it's an ultra distance. And for me, last year, I saw the mistake that I did after or even going to Comrade. That's a little bit mistake, but otherwise, in terms of training and resting and eat well together with my physiotherapist, my doctors, we were on point. It's just a couple of experts we didn't look at. So, but for me, I still believe, and for me, I just put it for me that not for anyone that is going to happen. For me, I'm still in that plan that is going to happen. It might happen very soon because this year, as we go with this situation, at the same time, it gives me the opportunity of my boat to recover. Yeah. Maybe next year, I'm gonna try it again because I know now how to win 2 Oceans. It's just that now I have to combine with a Comrade. Yeah. I'm lucky that I've got a guy which is my coach. He's well advanced. He knows how to train. He knows how to race. So once that is get into me, I think I'm gonna conquer the two of them. So 2 Ocean and Comrades. And even this year, we had to stick in that plan because we have a long plan with my coach. So even this year, we had to stick in that plan. I was on point that I was going to compete in the highest level in 2 Oceans. Then again in Comrade, because yes, 2 Oceans is a little bit of more speed than Comrade. We wanted just more of endurance.
Oh, we look forward to seeing you on the top step of both. Bong'musa, it hasn't only been Comrades and 2 Oceans for you. You've also represented South Africa at the 100-kilometer World Champs and the 50-kilometer World Champs. You've had amazing results there, second, third, etc. What's been the pinnacle result of your career? What's been the moment that you'll remember?
Yeah, I think for me, when I started like winning races, getting into top 3 in Comrades, I start to change even my mindset, the way I live, the way that I walk. I mean, in front of people, that the behavior, all that start to change. But the day where I get a call that I'm gonna represent South Africa was like, really me? I mean, going abroad. I mean, even my family, they were surprised. I remember when I phoned at home that. Did you guys hear that I'm going to represent South Africa and we're going to Spain? They were like, overseas. I said, yeah. The feeling, it's left you like, no ways, like amazed. And I remember that when we get into airport, I even told my mom that now we live in South Africa. I mean, we live in Africa. We're going to, overseas. I think that moment I won't forget in my life, and landing into overseas, getting the South African colors. I think it's always different, because that emblem I respect a lot. I've always watched, other sport courses and especially though rugby, cricket, and soccer. I can even see those guys, even if they wear that emblem, the mindset, everything changed because now they don't even represent themselves, their family, they represent the country. That comes with a huge, in your shoulders. But for me, and also that's I think that's what I carry, and I was so proud of myself, and and I think even in a race, that's why I did very well because I was so proud of myself. I couldn't believe that the guy from way down into rural areas and can represent the country in a short space of time. because my career didn't start like the most of athletes where they say they did cross country, short distances, 21 marathons, and coming to ultra marathon and represent the South Africa. For me, I started somewhere, then jumped to represent South Africa. It was a good opportunity for me, and I've grew up a lot, and I've learned a lot. And today, I've get the messages from all over the seas. I've seen my social media has sometimes goes viral. I've received the messages from all over the seas. I mean, it's amazing. Sometimes the life can change you, and so it's all about respect. So I think for me, yeah, I mean, it was the day that I'll never forget to get a call from Athletics South Africa that I'm going to represent South Africa.
And Bong'musa, just in closing, you talk about these moments, these winning these marathons, representing South Africa, the fact that you kind of came from nowhere and did it very quickly. If you had to give advice to young athletes out there that wanted to win the Comrades Marathon, wanted to represent South Africa in athletics, what advice would you give them?
I've always say one thing. I think for me, as a guy who grew up in rural areas, they saw the battle that we fought. I mean, in years back, even now in rural areas. So it took me a long time, more than 10 years, to start to see the progress in what I was doing. So I would say it might take long, but it has to start within. You mustn't compare yourself to a certain person. You must know that your life is got your journey. Whatever your parents, your brother has achieved, you're not going to achieve the same thing. So it's all about yourself. You must know who you are. You must know what you want. You must not be fear to dream. I've always dreamed big. I didn't let my background to see myself achieve more. So with that being said, I've always said, please guys, if there is anything that you can do for yourself. Have the confidence to yourself. Then there's so many things is gonna follow, because there are some other people out there who are watching. And today we are so lucky. Even if you're doing sport, you can get so many opportunities, unlike maybe 10 years back, where the time we grew up, maybe 10, 15 years back, it was so difficult. Even now, running can change your life. So it might not happen today, but if you have passion, persistence, perseverance, you will succeed.
Well, that's very wise words from a very wise man that's sort of overcome his obstacles. Bong'musa, it's been brilliant chatting to you today. Thank you for your time on Sport SA Daily Diary. Good luck with your training, and look forward to seeing you on top step of Two Oceans and Comrades next year.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having me. It's been lovely, and I enjoyed. Hopefully, everything went very well, and I'm looking forward to meet you. And I know, I mean, I couldn't get much time whenever I finish the race to see many people and get an opportunity to speak with them. But with this opportunity that we have now, social media and all stuff, I'm able to connect with some other friends. So it's been lovely, and thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Take care.
Cool, man.
Join us again tomorrow on Sport SA Daily Diary, where we'll be chatting to South African Olympic swimmer Ryan Coetzee.